as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. This will be fielded inside the 5 and able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Here's Ward, throwing on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there on the first play of the game. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 108 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays, and in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 53 yards.
I can remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or take a...
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Dolphins have got it. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Ward now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play there for the Dolphins.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down.
And got his man complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Eaton finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Yeah, he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Ward on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, Eaton. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, Eaton. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now a give, right side. Nixon. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 20. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Themselves.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Eaton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd and 2. Eaton. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Taken in at the 22. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. He's going to look deep down the field. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Eaton. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last. Week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Eaton. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is brought in at the 21. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it a little easier. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready.
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Looking to throw. Ward. And quick throw here, that's complete. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they pass.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Now for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw. Eaton looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Now that's... kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. 75 yards on the ground for him so far.
Guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st down, Eaton. That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it'll be third down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Looking to throw. Eaton. Touchdown! It's complete. A great effort there. With touchdown number 8 on the and the Colts gain a bit of respectability. The point after is good, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This fielded right at the goal line. And nowhere to go. He only makes it to the 5.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On first down, Nixon. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Back to throw. Eaton. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Let's go, defense.
Off play action. Eaton. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
On second down, Nixon. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Taken from just outside the 30. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember the last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Switch it.
On second down now. It's turned, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. Need to change much personally.
3 yards remain for second down.
Looking to throw. Eaton. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Throwing on 3rd and long. Eaton. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Miami set to take over.
They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Now the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try.
Pressure comes and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do it better.
Under pressure, they got him again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts?
It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Taken right around the 44. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are able to get that 10th win of the year as they're looking like a force to be reckoned with come January. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot. Everyone filling their gaps.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. Gets around him. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ward on 1st and 10. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. That's pulled in at the 32. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw is Ward. Throwing on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
89 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On third down, Nixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
A throw over the middle, taken in.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line.
Man. On the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
On first and 10, Eaton. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up Sackett.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off at the 30.
Defensively that time they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it.
Although launches deep, a jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami.
Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he will take it in from a Dolphins touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
111 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 3rd down, Eaton. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now the try here for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Indy set to go on offense once more. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Ball comes back. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
To throw on second down.
Eaton.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On 2nd down, it's Watson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Eaton.
And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense.
And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here telling us stretch this thing out a little bit?
And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? But
then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Dolphins are on their way to a sensational 13-0 start as they extend their lead here.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Throwing on 1st down.
Eaton. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
that incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Eaton. And he comes back with one complete. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From the gun, Eaton. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. So now here come the Dolphins. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
2nd and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Here's Ward on 1st down. He'll let this go for the end zone.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike.
Back to throw. Ward. He's going to take another shot here. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Dolphins are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Looking to throw. Eaton.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off at about the 31. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Eaton. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A nice little juke. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there, with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. In trouble, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Eaton. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part, because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a short gain here down to the 22.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
They they've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
They'll run on first down. It's Turner, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Back to throw. Eaton. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build up.
Just something to build up.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Well, these guys want to do something positive as this game approaches its end, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, it's really been more indicative of how the game has gone for them.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the Dolphins have got it. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.